Service learning and the skills that it teaches you is hugely applicable to anything that you do in any biology research field. I think working in service learning has given me better communication skills, and it's kind of broken me out of my shell in a lot of ways. A lot of medical work is working with patients and gaining those interpersonal skills and the different ways that you can communicate with people. And also different writing skills that you learn through service learning and different service learning courses are integral to keeping track of things and keeping up with different medical records and things like that. Service learning gives you a lot of the different skills that you need to do so. Service learning as an organization is built around collaboration. So there's a lot of collaboration between community partners and students and SLTAs and all of our different stakeholders. And that sort of collaboration is also how the research world works. You have collaborations between different groups, different people that are all doing different experiments to try and bring together towards one certain goal. And in a lot of ways, that's how service learning works as well. So having those different skills in how you communicate, working towards collaboration, and how you communicate as a team are also really applicable to the biology world. I think one of the biggest examples of how I was able to apply skills that I learned during my time as a service learning student was on my first co-op. So my first service learning experience was in the writer's room, working with 826 Boston to help students work on their writing assignments. And then my first co-op was at Vertex Pharmaceuticals, where I worked in their learning lab. And a large part of working in the learning lab is helping out different students as they work through different biology experiments. Through my experience in the writer's room, I had acquired the skill of minimalist tutoring, which is basically when you work with a student but you don't give them any direct contact. So you sit on the same side of the table as them, you work on their non-dominant sides that you don't take the pencil, and you ask them prompting questions to get them to think more about what they're doing, and through that they come to conclusions on their own. So having that experience in the writer's room gave me that skill that I was able to employ in how I tutor different students in the learning lab. So I spent time as a team manager in the service learning program, so I oversaw a group of 6 service learning TAs and the courses that they worked with. And that was my first real experience kind of leading my peers in college. The way that you occupy different leadership roles kind of changes based on who you're leading. So I'd had experience leading students in my courses, but I hadn't had experience leading other people in the same program as me before. So that taught me a lot about how I effectively communicate, how to balance being friends with someone, but also at the end of the day having to be the leader of the group. And it kind of just taught me a lot about how I think about leadership in general. Having that first experience made me realize how important service was to me, and that wasn't something that I was super exposed to prior to my time in college. So having that experience has led me to be on the street team, writing different pieces for our service learning blog. I've worked with leading community tours around Boston. So I've TA'd for 2 different courses, and I've also been a service learning team manager. Once I kind of scratched that service learning itch, I haven't been able to stop really.